The last game of the NFL season happened 29-13. Seattle wins in San Francisco 29-13 over the New England Patriots. Seattle's defense shut out the New England Patriots for the first 3 quarters of this game. Yeah, Eric, you guessed 30-17. Definitely we're closest. That's a good point, Eric. Definitely we're closest. I'll get you a little something for that in a little bit. But I do want to start off with just getting right into the first drive. Let's go through this game, kind of, play by play, drive by drive, talk about what happened, what didn't work for the Patriots, what worked for the Seahawks. I do want to start by saying overall Super Bowl production. I love now criticizing the production of everything, especially after the NFL honors and how horrible that was. I really was watching this Super Bowl and thinking production-wise, let's see how it goes. Having Green Day out there before the game started, awesome. 10 out of 10. Green Day absolutely killed it. It bothered me so much, by the way, seeing this Super Bowl happen in San Francisco, where I feel like everyone in the whole country is dealing with this cold weather. Obviously not California, but I feel like everyone's dealing with all this cold weather. We saw the AFC Championship game get decided by weather. We saw a couple other playoff games definitely have big weather impacts, and it really bothered me just watching like Sam Darnold and Drake May warming up in like 60-degree weather and sunny to play in perfect conditions. I don't know. Maybe that's just the football in me getting annoyed at. Maybe Ryan's getting to my head with the domes are ruining football and all the stadium talk, yada yada. But it did honestly bother me watching it not with the weather have no implications on this game whatsoever. But I guess that's the trend that football is going towards. Now, first drive of the game. Let's get into the first drive of the game for Seattle, because right off the bat, first pass of the game right here. Sam Darnold passed short left to A.J. Barner for 15 yards. That pass could have easily been picked off by Marcus Jones. Easily been picked off by Marcus Jones. If that play happens 3 centimeters to the right, that play is a pick six right to the end zone. I wrote down in my notes the first 2 throws that Sam Darnold completed. This pass deep left to Cooper Kupp and this short to A.J. Barner. Easily both of them could have been interceptions. But what's funny too is you could see that the defensive game plan for the Patriots, a lot of them was to bite on their routes. Like you saw them playing a lot more on the outside. They kept cutting off the out routes, making sure that they were trying to cut. Patriots just never got ahead of the ball. No other way to put it. They really never got ahead of the ball. There was one player on the defense that played outstanding. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I remember watching this game, I literally wrote down a thing that says, Darnold is going to win or die going back to his roots by throwing some crazy balls. I agree, Eric. When you're Diamond Darnold, you can make that throw. There was a couple of throws there that even last year in the Vikings, Sam Darnold was not making the same confidence throws to the outside, only where the receiver could get to it. I agree he was a fantastic quarterback, but he took a real step this year in terms of his pressure, times in pressure, right? Because last year, if I remember, that Lions game, he absolutely panicked in the Lions game, threw a couple bad balls. In the Rams game in the playoffs, absolutely threw a couple stinkers, threw an interception. Sam Darnold was throwing his immediate passes with confidence, which made me think he was going to win or die with a turnover or not. Look at that. Sam Darnold never threw a turnover in this entire game. Very, very impressive stuff. But they drove right down. They kicked a field goal. I can't lie. Once they kicked that first field goal, they got stopped on that 3rd and 7. Darnold might. That's funny, Bushwalk. Once they kicked this first field goal, I can't lie. I thought to myself, I was like, man, Jason Myers might be having an active day. And boy, did he. Because then it went 4 straight punts, a couple 3-and-outs by the New England Patriots, a 3-and-out by Sam Darnold, a 6-and-out by the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, just really not great offense overall. The one play I do want to talk about, though, that really killed me was right here. 3rd and 15. Sam Darnold is basically backed into his own end zone, avoids the sack in his own end zone, and gets JSN leaked out in the top left, wide open. That could have been a, 77-yard, could have been a 77-yard touchdown to JSN. Oh my God, I thought it was so open. I thought he had it. My JSN touchdown parlay, I was so hoping for it, but unfortunately he missed him by probably 2 feet, 2 yards maybe. Oh my God, he overthrew that ball just a hair. Sam Darnold kept doing that every once in a while. He kept having a couple panic throws. Now, I'm not saying they were panic throws that really could have been led to a turnover, but he kept having a lot of panic throws where like blitzes were coming his way. He wasn't great under pressure. Now, mind you, that was the statistic all year long with Sam Darnold, that he's not technically great under pressure. Patriots tried to do that. The only problem was Mike McDonald just ended up playing the field position game way too well in this game. Just way too well in this one. I think, the real Super Bowl MVP, in my opinion, in this game, for pinning them back as far as he did, punter Michael Dixon is probably the best punter in football, especially doing it on the stage he did it on. His punts were incredible all day long. It felt like every single time that the Seahawks had a quick 3 and out or a bad couple play calls or a play that just didn't go their way, it felt like the Patriots could have built momentum off of it. Never. Michael Dixon kept pinning them back within their own 10, 15-yard line. I was so impressed with him all day long. We've been saying it, right, that the Seahawks have the best special teams in the league. They have had the best special teams probably all season long. Now, funny enough, the Patriots probably had the second best special teams all season long. But the Patriots special teams in this one played a great day on Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed had at least 5 punt returns that he never got anything going with. He never really got to return the ball. He never really got to move a lot. He kept fair catching majority of them. So shout out to the Patriots special teams for stopping Rashid Shaheed in what could have been a big, Super Bowl moment on returns. But I think the punting unit for Seattle was just so much better at controlling the field position all day long. Just controlling the field position. There's one play I want to talk about, one player I'd like to bring up. I don't know if he only literally recorded basically one statistic. But the sack that this guy, number 98, Riley Mills, had, where he took that left guard, put his arm straight, and ran right through the left guard to the point where Drake May, basically all Drake May, yes, Notre Dame, exactly. I think he was a 5th-round pick or something. Rookie defensive tackle. 5th-round pick out of Notre Dame. This dude put that left arm out, locked that arm, ran that left guard all the way back into Drake May. Drake May got basically sacked while the left guard was getting tackled by Riley Mills. I thought that was arguably the play of the game because if you also look downfield on that play, first and foremost, no one outside Riley Mills was getting any pressure on Drake May during that play. And if you watch the behind Drake May's shot, you can see that both of the crossing routes that he could have thrown were open. They torched the Seattle secondary on that play. But Riley Mills absolutely blew up that play. What I thought could have been a huge turning point in that first half, Riley Mills made, in my opinion, the play of the first half with that incredible stiff arm sack into Drake May, running through that left guard. Unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about the left side of that Patriots offensive line and how much they struggled against certain guys. But a lot of guys on this defense that I'm going to bring up eventually. Cooper Kupp. Got to give credit to Cooper Kupp, man. Had the most targets in the entire game. Awesome Cooper Kupp game. Who would have thought that Cooper Kupp was the number 1 receiver on the Super Bowl winning team 3 years ago? It's incredible to think that he moved teams. All the stuff that happened in the offseason with the Rams telling teams not to, sign him because of the injury stuff and them letting him go for Devontae Adams and Kupp going to the, division rivals. Cooper Kupp 6 for 61. He had a couple really, really important catches in this game. Right after my Riley Mills note, I have a note about Cooper Kupp just making plays and being there when he needed to be. So shout out Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp here. I was so impressed with a couple of the plays that Kupp made overall. There was a 3rd and 3. If I go back to the play-by-play, this had to have been probably right around this range here. Yes, this 3rd and 3 right here. It was 20 seconds to go from the 23. The Seahawks had just put together a very good drive. They were about to go up. They were trying to go up 13-0 going into halftime. 3rd and 3, Sam Darnold drops back, throws deep middle to JSN. I thought they had the touchdown. I really did. If Sam Darnold throws that ball 2 more inches on the crosser, I really thought he had a touchdown to JSN. But my MVP for the New England Patriots, the only reason the Patriots didn't get probably blown out of this game by 40 cornerback Christian Gonzalez, man, played a heck of a game. He had 3 pass deflections in this one. I believe 1 was on Rashid Shaheed, at least 2 on JSN. Some of the plays he was making too, absolutely cutting routes, diving completely out for it. I was having an argument with my roommate about like who would you rather have for the future between Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez. After watching this game, for the performances that both of them had in the Super Bowl, with Witherspoon's incredible blitzing ability and them not blitzing Witherspoon at all throughout the playoffs, I swear that it's been Eman Wari blitzing. I've seen a couple like Julian Love or Kobe Bryant blitzes randomly against the Rams or against the Niners. Taking Witherspoon and moving him into that nickel spot and then having him basically pick and choose when he's able to run at the quarterback, having him like sneak through the left or the right guard a couple of times. I kept seeing the right guard get like, he would do his initial chip block, drop back. He'd think, he's going to guard some defensive tackle. And there comes Devin Witherspoon right through the middle and just slipping right through and getting to Drake May. I was so impressed with the blitz packages that the defense brought up. But who would have thought the best defensive coordinator and best defensive coach in football, Mike McDonald, comes out and draws an incredible scheme on defense for Witherspoon. But going back to it, I really thought that 3rd and 3 with 20 seconds was going to end up as a touchdown. I was so close to like putting like a live bet in and predicting that. And then boom, it happens. JSN gets the target, but Christian Gonzalez breaks it up. Jason Myers hits the 41-yard field goal, and they go into half 9-0. Drake May really struggled in that first half too. There was a couple passes that I really thought he should have hit. For example, there was one to Hunter Henry over the middle that he straight up just missed the throw. There was a couple to Stephon Diggs, not to Stephon Diggs, to Mac Hollins, specifically over the middle, that I just thought Drake May threw the ball either just a centimeter behind or a centimeter too much in front, just missing a couple easy passes. He had one to Austin Hooper that I was like, man, you got to convert on that. I think that was late in the 3rd quarter. He had Austin Hooper leaking out of the back, got right outside the safeties, and I kept thinking to myself, man, Austin Hooper, like that could have been a 50-yard catch. What up? It's Ryan O'Toole. Welcome in. Look at that.
There's a ton of hit rate stuff. Yep. They sent us doubles of a lot.
I saw that.
Everything they sent doubles of, I'm going to take one. I'll leave one for
Perfect.
you. There's 3 that they didn't. I'm going to leave those all for you. You
Oh.
can look and see.
And now I'm probably going to give majority of it back to you guys. Just so you know. So cool. Thank you. I'm not here because of train. Yes, sir. Same as Brock and Ty right now, which is funny. But dude, oh man, now we got you in chat, so this will be fun. That's awesome. I'll continue doing my recap of the game, Ryan, as I was doing. Christian Gonzalez, man, heck of a game. I was so impressed. He made so many good plays, specifically at the end of that first half. I thought he prevented a touchdown. He prevented a touchdown later in this game to Rashid Shaheed. Couple incredible plays by him. But let's get into more of this 3rd quarter. I thought it was interesting. Mike Vrabel wanted that offside call on the one punt. Play. I rewatched the play. Very great no call by the refs. I thought the refs called a very, very even, pretty good game here. I wrote down in the 3rd quarter that, man, Kenneth Walker is earning every yard he's getting. And I know on paper, right, he averaged 5 yards per carry. He had 27 carries in this one, 135 yards. Absolutely dominated on the ground. There was a couple plays, though, that I really thought that the Patriots should have been tackling him for at least 2 yards back of what Kenneth was getting. You could see the coaching that Kenneth was always taught to, like, dive forward and get an extra couple of yards, and it kept panning out, leading to, like, shorter 3rd downs, shorter 2nd downs on these good runs early on. I remember the one play that they kept, I thought it was so funny. They ran the same motion 3 straight times, one in a different quarter, where they did a fake handoff to Kenneth Walker and had Rashid Shaheed coming in around the back. The first time they did it, they handed off to Kenneth Walker. He got like 2 yards. The second time they did it, they gave it to Rashid Shaheed, who, by the way, did like a, he had like a negative 5-yard gain on the first down. It led to a 3-and-out for Seattle. And I was looking at my roommate like, what are they doing? You know that you're guaranteed at least 2 to 3 yards on basically every Kenneth Walker run. I don't love you taking the outside on this Patriots team. Just keep pounding the run up the middle. And that's exactly what they did for the entire rest of the 3rd and 4th quarter. Another coaching moment that I really want to talk about that I thought was absolutely beautifully drawn up. I really want to find the play. I don't know if I'm going to find it exactly, but maybe it was just this short right pass to Kenneth Walker in the third quarter. This was the same exact play design as the JSN touchdown from a week ago. If you guys remember, when JSN was in the backfield on the left side, when he ran that little scissors route that got JSN open against the Rams on the left side of the end zone, it was the exact same play design. But when you watch that play happen, there is a designated 2 offensive linemen, the right guard and I believe the right tackle, who chip block, get off their blocks, and run to the right side. So Sam Darnold drops all the way back, looks left to find if JSN's, curl corner route is going to work. It worked obviously against the Rams for the touchdown, so he threw it to him. In this game, it's not open. The Patriots know what's coming on that side of the field, but they don't know that the play design actually has a designated screen pass on the right side to Kenneth Walker if JSN isn't open. It is such a beautiful play design because you have so many options, and Sam Darnold obviously has to make those decisions quick, but that's what we've seen him be kind of good at all season long, is those weird, quick decisions that you don't really know what's happening, but Darnold knows exactly what his read is. Oh my God, Kane. That's so funny. But I was so impressed with that play call. Giving the ball to Kenneth Walker on that screen pass, it got them down the field because they were only at the 23-yard line, got them to the 43. That ended up leading them all the way into a field goal good, put them up by 12 points in that third quarter, 12-0 going into the fourth quarter. I looked at my roommate, I said, I'll bet you that this game almost hits the over. I bet you this game's going to hit the over in the fourth quarter because you could tell that Drake May and the Patriots were just going to come out throwing that ball in that fourth quarter, and damn, they did that. Beautiful hurry-up offense, finding Mac Hollins in the back left of the end zone to start that fourth quarter. I was super impressed. I believe that made it I'm trying to remember what the score. I don't think it was 12. I think they got to 19 right beforehand. Yes, they had the fumble that led to the touchdown to A.J. Barner. First touchdown of the game, A.J. Barner. Boom, boom, boom. Shout out A.J. Barner, man. That was an incredible touchdown. 16 yards. Was so happy about that. Shout out A.J. Barner for catching that touchdown. That was so cool. And then Mac Hollins, they came down. They found him on the hurry up. Tariq Woolen was caught a little lackadaisical on the defense, and bang. Mac Hollins scores the touchdown on the back left to make this game 19-7. But then the Seattle Seahawks, man, they punted, and Drake May threw one of the worst interceptions. He was trying to throw that ball deep middle for Kyle Williams. Oh, man, what a bad throw. Chris Collinsworth sat there quietly and then said, man, I got nothing for you. I thought that was pretty funny, but he threw a absolute prayer up into the middle. Obviously, Drake May, younger quarterback. We expected him to make a mistake at some point. Him making that mistake in the fourth quarter didn't surprise me. I honestly can't think of a worse throw yet. It was not a good one. I mean, there was 3 guys back there. Maybe one's left-handed. Yeah, maybe Jared Stidham throwing the ball backwards 1 week ago, right, Kane? Maybe Jared Stidham throwing the ball backwards wouldn't help out either. But Drake May throws a bad interception. Obviously, we could talk about the rest of this game. The pick 6 that technically happened for the Seattle Seahawks. The pick 6 I thought was awesome. What a great play by the defense that turned into, obviously, Seattle scoring here. What was his name that got it? It was, Nwosu. I'm forgetting his first name, but Nwosu caught the play, which, mind you, was stopped by Devin Witherspoon. If you guys remember, Devin Witherspoon came in, immediately hooked his arm and got the interception, ran it all the way back for the touchdown. I don't know. I think Witherspoon was almost deserving of Super Bowl MVP in this one, but I understand why you give it to Kenneth Walker. Offense put on his back, 135 yards on the ground, with no Zach Charbonnet back from injury. Kenneth Walker put that team on his back, ran the ball. They absolutely dominated the front lines. 141 rushing yards for Seattle, 79 for the Patriots. Drake May, shout out to him for having a statistic in the Super Bowl. Now he's thrown technically the most yards ever thrown in a single quarter of the Super Bowl. Is Drake May in that fourth quarter? He threw over 200 yards in the fourth quarter of this game. Now, mind you, did it matter? No. Did he throw a pick 6 in the same quarter? Yes. But Drake May, one of the youngest quarterbacks in NFL history to make the Super Bowl. I don't want anyone to look at this playoff run and tell yourselves that Drake May isn't a good quarterback just because of this Super Bowl run, or the playoff run, and he struggled against Houston, struggled in the Denver game, and here he is now. Drake May is a heck of a quarterback. He's going to bounce back from this. The Patriots are going to be a very good team with the defensive identity that Vrabel's built and the leadership and this early on success with Drake May. I really believe in this Patriots team. But man, I kept watching like Ramondre Stevenson run the ball, and I kept thinking this is the problems that we thought the Patriots offense was going to have going into the season, right? With the run game not being as dominant, which mind you, I think that more so has to do with Byron Murphy and what's his name, number 90, Jaron Reed. Oh my God, those two D tackles that Seattle has. I mean, just put your hands up and give up when those guys are in the middle, because you cannot run the ball directly up the middle. He was in over his head on this one a little bit. You could tell Drake May was getting in his head. But it's his first time in this situation. You know what I mean? It's his first time in a moment like this. First year as a starting quarterback. So he's got such a bright future ahead of him. The Patriots are, for making the Super Bowl at this point in a rebuild is remarkable. The fact that they have a rookie running back they drafted, Ramondre Stevenson, was looked at as maybe like out, off the team in the offseason. Then he ends up fighting all the way. Matt Collins is picked up on a minimum deal. No one wanted Stephon Diggs. Kayshon Boutte, 5th round pick. Pop Douglas, this dude was looked at as kind of a draft bust for them. I mean, for the Patriots to even get to where they were this year, absolutely remarkable season. It just sucks that the best unit in football all season long, and we should have said it going into the Super Bowl, was straight up the Seahawks defense. The best unit all season long this season was the Seahawks defense. I mean, they only lost their 3 games in the regular season by combined 9 points. We had to watch Kyle Shanahan giving his expert analysis on the game, and him and Fred Warner giving their expert analysis before the game starting, where Kyle Shanahan came out and said, I know you guys are expecting my expert analysis, but I've played them back-to-back games now, and I haven't been able to score a touchdown on them. And we're talking about Kyle Shanahan, possible coach of the year in the NFL, wasn't able to score a touchdown on this defense. I mean, the defense that Mike Macdonald has, initiated and created here, between Ernest Jones, bringing him over from the Rams, Josh Jobe having a couple incredible plays. He's been a long-time Seahawks guy. Nick Emanwari getting drafted. Basically, they traded DK for Nick Emanwari. Devon Witherspoon being drafted from the Russell Wilson trade. Tariq Woolen was a, 5th-round pick. Kobe Bryant, him University, if you saw their starting things. Byron Murphy drafted. DeMarcus Lawrence, who said he was coming from the Cowboys because he didn't think the Cowboys could win the Super Bowl. In his first year off the Cowboys, wins the Super Bowl. Shout out to Leonard Williams, coming over from the Jets and the Giants, winning the Super Bowl, coming off from 2 poverty franchises. Boye Mafe having a couple good plays. Shout out Derek Hall for an incredible 2 sacks in this game. Riley Mills, I was saying 5th round rookie guy, who made one of the best sacks I've seen of the season. Just an incredible game. And Uchenna Nwosu with the pick 6 because Devon Witherspoon came in on those heated blitzes. I mean, the defense of Seattle was just remarkable to watch. I know a lot of people are going to watch and say this was a boring game because the Patriots couldn't score. Watching the way the Seahawks defense just absolutely dominated this game, I thought was so entertaining to watch, with the different blitz schemes coming from both sides, pressuring up the middle, dropping back, faking blitzes. I mean, they threw everything at Drake May and Mike Vrabel, and you could tell that even Josh McDaniels was not ready for the defensive mastermind that Mike Macdonald cooked up there. And then Clint Kubiak said, we're going to game manage with the field position, man. We're going to game manage field position with Michael Dixon punting the ball incredibly, pinning them, forcing them to punt that back. Seahawks starting half their drives within the 40-yard line. It felt like they were always around the 40. They only had to really move like 20 to 30 yards to get into field goal range, hence why Jason Myers had all these 40-yard field goals in this one. Shout out Jason Myers, by the way, in the biggest game of his career, 5 for 5. I almost thought he was going to win finals Super Bowl MVP. 5 for 5, 41 was his longest. 2 extra points. I mean, he kicked 7 for 7. Borregales never even got into field goal range. I mean, they did technically, but they scored touchdowns. But I thought that was interesting to see Borregales not really get any chance at kicking a field goal specific or early on in the game. But man, great Super Bowl. Defensive-minded game that turned out to have 42 total points scored in it, with 30 points scored in the 4th quarter when it really didn't matter anymore. Sam Darnold, first quarterback from that 2017 NFL draft class to win the Super Bowl. is remarkable. Shout out to Sam Darnold for all that he's been through in his career, from the Jets to the Panthers to the Niners to the Vikings. Vikings not bringing him back after going 14-3, and now he goes to Seattle. And technically, he made less money this season than Geno Smith made on the Raiders. And boom, he comes out, plays a near fantastic. I'm not gonna say near perfect, because he was definitely far from perfect. He missed a couple easy ones too, and he got a little rattled at some points. But Sam Darnold, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, no fumbles for Sam Darnold, man. That's what I want to see. No turnovers for a guy like Sammy D. Kenneth Walker, so deserving of the Super Bowl MVP. 27 carries, 135 yards. He broke off a couple big runs. Was so impressed with Kenneth Walker all day. Cooper Kupp, leading receiver on the Super Bowl winning team. Sad to see JSN go down with that injury, but he came back. Shout out JSN, Super Bowl champion. Didn't even have to do much. Sam didn't even have to do much, because that defense was just so good. I took a shot every time they said 12s. They loved saying 12s, man. I heard that so many times too. Another guy, Drake Thomas for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think I've said his name yet. Number 42 out of NC State. Drake Thomas was awesome. He was everywhere at that middle linebacker position. Him and Ernest Jones were just running around defensively. Seattle just put together a total team effort in this one. New England played a solid game. I didn't think Drake May missed a couple of throws, but at the end of the day, they could not get the run game going the way they wanted to. And then they kept forcing them to have 3rd and longs, and that is a recipe for disaster against a team like Seattle, man. You cannot get into 3rd and long situations against them, because they will blitz the heck out of you. They'll scheme up different, zone reads that you don't see coming. I mean, the defense of Seattle was the reason they won the Super Bowl this year. And the Patriots, 13 points, all coming in the 4th quarter. They will be back. I don't know if they'll be back in the Super Bowl next year, but they're going to be a team that no one wants to see moving forward. We just got to see how they do against a little bit tougher of a schedule next year. But, man, Seattle's, by the way, everyone, Seattle has the 4th most cap space out of every single NFL team this offseason. I don't know how many of you guys know that. Seattle has the 4th most cap. Maybe it's 6, but I know they're like top 10 in cap space in this offseason. So if you think Seattle's not here to stay, I hate to break it to you. Mike McDonald is here to build this defense and possibly make it even better, because, Seattle's got money to spend, and they're here to stay, especially in that NFC West with, in my opinion, the Rams probably only going downhill from here with Matt. We got to see Matthew Stafford really stay healthy for the rest of his time. Who knows with the Niners and that electricity thing next to their stadium? Who knows what's going to happen with that? But I bet you this felt great for Seattle going into the Niners stadium and winning 29-13. That rewards your Seattle Seahawks as Super Bowl champions. And that, my friends, is going to be the last NFL recap. This is it's been a fun run. If I go to the YouTube channel, you guys will see here. Let me go to my playlists, right? If I go to NFL Weekly Recaps, we've been doing an NFL Weekly Recap ever since Week 9. Ever since Week 9, we've done an NFL recap every single week of the season, and this is officially the last one that we are going to do of the year. But I appreciate everyone. This has been the first year that I've been, for football, that I've really talked about it on camera and everything. It's been so much fun to recap weekly football every week. I really think I can say I watched almost every single NFL game this season. I really think I can say I watched every NFL game this season. At least moments of every single one, which is so cool. That's the first year I've really been able to dedicate all this time to it, and I've had so much fun. Shout out to Seattle for winning the Super Bowl this first year. I mean, what a great season of football between, the Bo Nix injury, him going down, the Chiefs, Ravens, and Bengals all not making the playoffs is crazy. I mean, the year my Steelers had was so fun. The NFC West being as good as it is, the NFC South being as bad as it was, the Eagle, I mean, everything that happened this NFL season was amazing, amazing stuff. What an NFL season. Couldn't have been recapped better with a defensive masterclass from the Seattle Seahawks and Mike McDonald, defeating the Patriots 29-13 in Super Bowl 60. And lastly, I know a lot of you guys are going to say it. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to agree with me. I thought the Bad Bunny halftime show was incredible. I thought it was incredible, and that's all I have to say about that. Seahawks,
What are we talking about?
29-13. Seahawks 29-13 win over the Patriots.